Hello, good evening or afternoon if you're in America or in the middle of the wilderness of Australia or something. Thanks for joining. So wait till a few people get on. Hope you're all well. It's been quite a nice day. Well, last 2 days now. We didn't have rain for the last 2 days, which is very unusual for us. So party time for that. It's been lots of fun. So today I'm going to be bringing you a reading from Cursed. We should get on the camera properly. There you go. So this is from Iron Faerie Publishing. I'll tell you a little bit about it. It's a brilliant cover. I really like it. It's one of my favourite ones actually for any of the books that I'm in. This is like, I love the cover. I think it's great. The colours and the font and everything. So this one was an invite only, which was great to get into. It's great to be asked to be any of those kind of things. So as I start reading this through to you and everything, you know, if you have any questions or anything like that that you want to ask about it, or just anything in general, obviously comment away. If you would give this a share and a like, or invite people as well, that'd be great too, just to get out there, because this is out now. It's out there. You can get the link there. It's out on ebook. It's out on this nice little pocketbook sized. As Tim Mendes, who many of you might know, would say, it would fit right in his sporran, which is not a euphemism. I believe it might well be. Who knows? Even though I've been to Scotland, I'm not exactly sure what a sporran is, and I'm not sure that I want to know what one is. So this is Cursed. So the story with this one is, it was a companion to Once, which was Princesses, from female authors from Iron Faerie. And Stacey, the owner of Iron Faerie, had an idea to do like a male version. So this was Wizards. And she recruited a team of people. So there's great authors involved in this one. There's Callum Pearce, Charles Rees, Keisto Healy, Chris Hall, Chris Hewitt, lots of Chris's, Christopher Murray Hultman, myself, G. Allen Wilbanks, Joshua D. Taylor, and Tim Mendes. So the story with this one then was we had to do, we could do up to 9 stories. We didn't have to do 9, but we could. But if we did, 5 of them had to be drabbles, so 100 words, and 4 of them had to be exactly 250 words. So it was kind of tricky. What I thought was, I'm just going to tell one story across the whole lot and cheat. So I could do like one longer story split into chapters, basically. So that is what I did, which wasn't against the rules or anything, but it made it a lot easier for me. So I'm going to read you the entire thing that I wrote, which I kind of called the Folly of Winston Hill. So Winston Hill is a male wizard. He's from London, and he is he's quite talented, but he's also quite stupid, not much common sense, and he's very curious, which puts him in lots of tricky situations, all of his own doing most of the time. So this is kind of a light-hearted one, although there is quite big stakes to it. So I'm just going to start reading it for you now, and I hope you enjoy it. So chapter 1 is called A Wizard's Folly. My mother called my curiosity a curse. I'm grateful she's dead, so she can't gloat. Trust me, she would. I come from an ancient line of wizards and witches, back from when folk didn't have to search the dark corners of the world for magic, hunting whispers and rumours. We of the Crucible, the Society of Magi, prefer it that way. Centuries of persecution and burnings will do that. Now, it looks like I, Winston Hill, shall be the last wizard. Not just in my family, ever. My curiosity has killed magic, and all hell is about to break loose. Chapter 2, The Crux. As well as being a curious sort, I'm a tad dramatic. I haven't killed magic. I've absorbed it so no one else can use it. Now, I didn't do this on purpose. The Crucible won't care. Sticklers for rules. All the legions of creatures, fae, and unaffiliated magic users who, right at this moment, are cursing my ancestors that I ever existed. Limiting magic to just one person might sound like fun for the wizard or witch who possesses it. Imagine the possibilities. Thing is, the world runs on magic. It's oxygen. Can't survive without it. Making matters worse, I have no idea how to put it back. So here I am, standing in the middle of Stonehenge. The full moon is bright in the night sky, unimaginable power at my fingertips, with no knowledge of how I've managed this, or the slightest inkling of how I'm going to fix it. And that's the crux of the problem. Like I said, I'm given to dramatic moments, but believe me when I say this, if I don't figure out a way to return everyone's magic, it won't matter that I've angered all the magic users and creatures on Earth. The planet will die, and everyone on it. I glance around at the silent stones. Even the nearby motorway is silent. Strange at this time of night, but I have more pressing matters. Thousands of stars look down at me, judging. Any ideas? I ask. They don't answer. Of course they wouldn't. Fine. Didn't want your help anyway. Chapter 3. Unexpected. Perhaps if I do the exact opposite, I say out loud to no one in particular. Yeah, that'll do the trick. You see, I aim to increase my power, just a smidge, not for nefarious purposes, you must understand. There's a task I need to carry out, an important one. The irony is, I can achieve it now. No problem at all. I'll cure my sister of the wasting disease that afflicts her, suck the rot right out of her bones. Then the planet will implode. You win some, you lose some. I'd searched for months, drove myself to distraction. Then, in a second-hand bookshop in Salford, Manchester, of all places, I found the answer. A grimoire with the ritual I desired. The ingredients appeared simple. A magical nexus, the talent, and the will. I thought Stonehenge the perfect place. Turns out the ancient stones are too perfect. Damn fine bit of magic though, I say to myself. The night feels more vibrant in every way, like the power running through my veins makes the world more real. Well, here goes nothing. I plant my feet on the grass and stretch my palms towards the moon, like I'm dancing in a 1980s soft rock music video. Pity there's no wind. I just need to expel the magic I've taken, I say, biting my lip, and maybe keep a little extra. I wouldn't do that, a voice grates behind me. I close my eyes and mutter a silent curse. Fate has caught up with me. Chapter 4. Fate dogs my steps. I need to fix this, Galahad, I say. Wizards have handlers, a fate. They don't do much, except turn up when they're not wanted. Watching, never helping, and talking rubbish. You've heard of the Knights of the Round Table? They were fates, and mine is the worst of the lot. Pious, insufferable, handsome, and always right. You're about to make matters worse, Galahad intones. He moves with silence alongside me. They did away with the armour centuries ago. Too cumbersome. How? I ask, my voice incredulous. Well, creating a black hole in the centre of the planet is rather bad. Escalation. A black hole, I say, mouth dry. Yes, Galahad replies. In the centre of the planet? I'm afraid so. I squint up at the moon, thinking. Problem is, my mind's blank. Bloody hell, I mutter, kicking at a scrub on the ground. Winston Hill, I spin. Members of the Crucible have popped into view. We Magi can use artifacts imbued with spells for mundane matters such as transportation. 1 minute, I cry, summoning an impassable wall of fire to buy myself some time. You know, there's only one way out of this, Galahad murmurs. What? I snap. You have to die. Death becomes us. How's me dying going to solve a thing? I ask, thrusting a finger at Galahad. It's your fate, he answers. I should know. But that explains nothing. I stop myself from stomping my foot like a petulant child. From beyond the flames, I hear the Crucible members scream my name. The voices crowd my mind, as does Galahad's regard. I need some silence to think, I yell. The universe obliges. The wall of fire flickers, and I see Galahad's chest rise as he breathes, but I hear nothing. I told the world to be quiet, and it followed my command. Goosebumps appear across my flesh. The power I possess scares me. I think on Galahad's words. I stole the world's magic, and I can't send it back into the universe in a single surge. Too much power. I trickle, like blood leaving a wound, a slow death. I don't need silence anymore. Sound returns to Stonehenge. You understand, Galahad asks. I nod. I trickle. Will you do it for me? He shakes his head. Baring my teeth, I pull out my trusty dagger. Never leave home without it. First, I think of my sister. I consider the sickness rotting inside her. I visualize it, then I picture it gone. Somehow, I know it's enough. Thanks for nothing, I growl to Galahad. Pulling up my coat jacket, I draw the blade across the soft flesh of my forearm. Blood seeps out and drops to the green grass below my feet. Rude awakening. Winston Hill, the deep, ominous voice says, at last we meet. My eyelids flutter open, though my eyesight lags a little behind. I feel heat and oppressive warmth. The wound on my arm doesn't hurt, though I'm aware it should. Realization dawns on me. Oh no, I mutter. Listen, I didn't want to commit suicide. Intent has to count, right? A low rumble of laughter washes over me. Squinting through the haze, I see him standing over me. Lucifer himself, in all his quite ordinary glory. He appears relaxed and rather genial. Welcome to hell, he says. Bugger, I reply. You could have been God. I saw what you did, Lucifer says, an odd twinkle in his eye. Fine bit of magic. I climb to my feet and look him in the eye. He's the same height as me. Looks like my dad. I decide not to pursue that train of thought further. That's what I said, I reply, grinning despite myself. My mother always said my curiosity would be the death of you, Lucifer finishes. I know. Hell is calm. It's rather disappointing. I imagine brimstone all over the show, screaming, wailing and gnashing teeth. Not that I ever expected visiting here. So, I asked the devil, now what? Eternal damnation? He laughs. Not an evil one. The vibration of it rattles my bones, but it's quite charming, all things considered. We don't go in for that anymore, Lucifer replies. Got boring a few thousand years ago. I'll bet. He pauses, a finger on his lips. Why give up that power? I understand avoiding the end of the world, but you could have been a god, created a new reality. No mortal deserves such might, I reply, surprised at my conviction. Plus, my fate said I had to die. Lucifer steps closer and winks. He grabs my forearm, the forearm I sliced open. You know, I always hated the fates. Warmth seeps from his iron-like grip, and my vision fills with light. Nice to meet you, Winston Hill, I hear him whisper it as my feet lift from the ground. Reckon you deserve a new destiny, wizard. And now for my next trick. What are you planning, Winston? Galahad's annoyed. It's rather delightful. Since my return from hell, he can't see my fate. Says it's now my own to shape. It concerns him. I have many reasons to feel happy. I'm alive, my dear sister seems better than ever, and the world's returned to normal, as has my magic, though I appear to possess a little more power than before. Alas, my rampant curiosity remains undimmed. Well, I say, closing the pages of my latest ancient grimoire. I've met the devil. Thought I'd introduce myself to the big guy upstairs. Save us, Galahad whispers. The end. So that is The Folly of Winston Hill. Maybe he'll come back another time. Who knows? I would like to revisit him. It was quite fun to write, and I hope you enjoyed it. So I've done something wrong, so I can't actually see the comments on this. So I'm gonna have to just look at my phone here and see if anyone is kind of saying anything on here. So apologies. See, Tim is having a laugh about the sporran. Like, you know, it is your thing. Like, I can't ever think of anyone. I don't even think I ever heard the word sporran before I came across you. Yeah, Chris Hewitt says he'd probably have a few books in that sporran by now. Yeah. So morning everyone who's saying hello, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, a little bit more for people that kind of came in a bit later on. So this is the book Cursed from Iron Faerie. There's loads of stories in it. It's great. I've read it all actually. And there's some brilliant bits in it. And the great thing about it is that it does fit in a sporran. Tim assures me that is the case, and he does not lie. He always tells the truth. Very, very true. So that is that. So if anyone has got any questions, let us know. But I'm going to kind of wrap this up a little bit. Someone asked about inspiration for it. I guess for this one, I was going through a bit of a phase. I don't know if some people might have read my Halloran book, Dead Man Walking, which is kind of it has a little bit of that kind of biblical, well, not just a bit, it has quite a lot of it. And I think I was going through a bit of a phase where I kind of found that interesting. And I still do. I think it's quite a good thing to write about and quite funny. But obviously, Halloran has quite a bit of humour to it. I hope. I tried to put humour in there. But this one, it goes into some heavy kind of places. And I was thinking about the second one, which goes into some very, very dark subjects and events that happen in that one. And you will be hearing more about those soon, very soon, which I'm very excited about. So with this one, I was kind of thinking, well, I'd like to keep kind of exploring the same kind of thing, but I'd just like to do something that's just fun and just kind of makes me laugh. So I just thought, why not just do something where someone has just done a massive big error that might just make the world end, but it's just kind of it's one of those things. It's not the biggest deal in the world when it really is. So that's what it was really, and it just kind of just made me laugh just to kind of think about it. Surprisingly enough as well, there's quite a lot of cats in this, and mine is one of the few stories that has no cats whatsoever. Which is by design, because I'm not a big fan of cats. I'm a dog person for sure. So that is that. Stop teasing and give it, damn it, says Neen. Stop teasing about what? Halloran too. Well, stay tuned for more Halloran goodness. It's going to be coming back pretty soon, I hope. There's going to be news about it soon anyway. So obviously there was a kind of an issue there recently with The Devil Walks in Blood, which is the sequel. But that's kind of been resolved. Really looking forward to talking more about it, but there's other things out first, which I'm equally, if not more so excited about, which is kind of, in this kind of vein, I suppose, fantasy and everything, which is my kind of thing that I kind of like to write the most. I've done sci-fi and I have done horror, and I do enjoy reading and writing them, but fantasy was my kind of main thing as a reader. And when I started actually writing, I was very reticent to write fantasy because I didn't think I had the skill to kind of do it. Because I'm a big fantasy reader, really well into it. So whenever I used to see people kind of saying fantasy is like this is, I'll be like, no, fantasy is really hard to do right. Bad fantasy is terrible, but great fantasy is like the best you can do. So I was always kind of like, I don't know if I can do it, so I'm just going to avoid it. But you know, obviously you kind of write what you enjoy, so I kind of started writing more and more and more of it. And kind of most of the stuff that I've probably got coming out this year is kind of fantasy flavored in some kind of way. Dark fantasy, comedy fantasy, I suppose, if you want to put this as comedy fantasy. And then, like, you know, the Halloran series is, you know, it's noir, but it's urban fantasy as well, which is what I'm into. But yeah, it's a lot of good things on the way. So that's pretty much it for tonight. So I hope you really enjoyed the Folly of Winston Hill from Cursed. He is a character that I would love to revisit at some point on his next adventure, maybe in a kind of longer form. That would be quite fun to do if people want to read more about him. But definitely do, if you've not picked it up yet, please think about picking up Cursed, because, as I say, there's some great authors involved. Iron Faerie are a great publisher as well. They've always been very, very good to work with. And it was very enjoyable writing this. And yeah, I hope people enjoyed listening to it. So until next time, thank you very much. And I will speak to you all soon. Thank you.